Okay, so we're here with Bob Vokey. Why don't you tell him your name and what you're introducing to us today?
Hi there, my name is Bob Vokey, and I'm proud to say my crew and myself were responsible for the SM5.
Okay, so with the new SM5, we're talking about more spin, more shots. Why don't we start with spin? What's going on with the new group?
Actually, a little technology. It's spin mill technology, but it's called, we call it TX3. It's an iteration of years and years of work. It's the SM2 groove was in the what we call our SM4 series. So we in turn went out and talked to people, players particularly, how can we improve upon it? The first thing that all of them said, well, they don't mind the shape, maybe shorten it up a little bit. And the other thing that basically was consistent, the players, they wanted to be able to live with more consistent shots out of the rough in the first cut. So we said we went back, I gave it to our, I call our brainiacs back in Carlsbad. They went on the board, because I remember we had about maybe up to 30 iterations of the SM4 groove. They had used a lot of that from that, plus they used a lot of information. We had 16 different groove configurations to come up with. They found out that the groove, we had to do 2 different grooves to keep the consistency throughout the line because of the actual obliqueness of the angle. It's actually right about 55, so 50, so 56. So between our 46 to 54, because of the nature of the angle, we were able to make them a little narrow and drop it deeper. As a result, we gained about 7% more volume. We gained back up to 400 or 500 more RPMs back, which is pretty significant. And as a result, and we also by doing
the higher loft.
Yeah, the higher loft, we went from the 56 to the 60. We kept the groove the same size, except we dropped it down. And how we were able to do that, and we didn't do it before, by call it process tolerance. We worked hard with our people. They were great, really, really good. They're phenomenal. We asked them to work a little bit. We told them what we wanted to do. We wanted to take it a little bit closer, more consistent groove. So they turned around, and what we found from them, they slowed down their cutting process, and in turn increased the changing of the cutter that actually cuts in the score lines. So as a result, they used last year up to 50,000 score lines for over 800,000 wedges. So that's pretty significant. You know, they worked with us very well, and both sides of the groove. We found the groove like wider and down, because the nature and obliqueness of it was actually pushing it more to the side where you needed the volume. And so as a result, it's been very good. I mean, it's funny, I just tell you a little bit, I just talked to the English guys. They talked to Peter and Brooks.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
The other thing that's new is we got new grinds in the lineup. Talk a little bit about the new grinds that we got.
The new grinds that we came in, and you'll notice they're all identified. We have got
on the way.
M grind, T grind, L grinds, S grinds, and actually we've got full soles, which you'll see in this particular angle. That's what we call our F grind, because it's basically a full sole. You see all of the sole.
I see.
And then we get, this is an M grind. It's the difference of the M grind. It's a different grind, and we also have a L grind. It's very popular, and we also have what's called the K grind.
Tell them about the K grind. It's new.
The K grind is very, very brand new. This is why you'll see it. It's a little wider, very forgiving. It's a grind that we put in. Jason Duffner, Adam Scott put it in just before the Masters. It's a K grind, and they actually loved it, and it's been very, very popular. It's probably, I get asked all the time, what's the most favorite grind on tour? Usually was on the M, but this K grind is getting popular. Very popular, because it's very forgiving. Even tour players, they need forgiveness.
Yeah.
And this was very, very, so we take all we get from information from all our players, and we pass it on to the, I call it the weekend golfer. And then we finally put it in, that's our tour proven DNA. If it works on tour players like the shape, size, and it works, then we bring it to the marketplace.
The other thing we talked about, we got 3 new finishes, so they're right there on the wall behind you. Why don't you tell them about the 3 finishes we got there?
This is basically what I have here, the tour chrome is right here. Very, very popular. It's a little different tour chrome than we had in the SM4. The SM4 was a little grayish color.
Yeah.
We finally got a chrome that I really liked. We've been trying to replicate this finish with our vendors for a lot of years. And it finally hit home. And if you can just look at how much it pops, versus, I'm not saying anything bad about the SM4. The SM4 didn't have the shelf appeal that we have with the SM5s. But the SM5s had shelf appeal.
The black, the raw black?
Black, basically the black, it's called a QPQ finish. And it was right in there to replace our oil can. If you notice, our oil can, over the years, whatever the oil can it wears, very rust comes up. So it was was one of not a detriment, but a lot of players didn't like it to rust so quick. So this will hold up, and when it doesn't really rust, it actually comes in the hitting area, the wear areas. It's almost like a silver. So it's really, really good.
And how about the gold nickel?
Now the gold nickel, that was another wedge, and you know, it was sort of brought to me many years ago. They showed us to it, and I said, you know, gold. I said, it'll never, you know, what is this? You know, I'm not saying I was a negative. I said it's totally different. But all of a sudden we took it out in our product to a lot of our partners and also tour players, and we showed them the gold. And they go, wow, that's got a little bit of pop. And so, but basically that was to replace the black nickel. I don't know if you remember if you had the black nickel that was out there. This replaces the black nickel. And this has a little bit of pizzazz pop.
That's awesome.
Good?
Yeah, thank you.